If it's lining up to what we think, and he's going to Aston Martin, it is certainly a choice because I don't. Audi has looked good so far this year.
Yeah.
Very good. Like surpassed my expectations already.
Same. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Around the Circuit, Apollo Media's Formula One podcast. As always, I'm your boy Junior, joined by Mark. No Ivan today. He couldn't make it in with us.
Unfortunately, he was driving the Aston Martin, so he couldn't get here.
Pretty much. It's race week, ladies and gents.
It is.
We are racing in Japan this week. Japanese Grand Prix is this weekend. It's going to be at midnight, our time here in Houston, Texas. What's that? Saturday night going into Sunday.
Yep.
So technically, race day is still Sunday, but it's at midnight. We will be doing a live stream, watch along like we have been the past few races. So before we get into too much detail, make sure you hit that subscribe button just in case you haven't already, so that you can stay tuned for this weekend and the upcoming race. Mark, how are we feeling going into Japan?
It's almost bittersweet. We had this week off and we're back. But then we have 5 weeks off.
5 weeks off after this race weekend. We get to race in Japan, and then we don't get to see any racing again, F1 related, until Miami, which is May 5th. I think it's like Cinco de Mayo weekend, isn't it? Or something like that.
Somewhere around there.
Oh, yeah. We have our new fancy calendar that we can check.
We didn't even look at that. I have a laptop on.
Yeah, May 1st through the 3rd. So the weekend just before Cinco de Mayo. That's a long break this early in the season. Unfortunately, we mentioned it before. Bahrain and Saudi Arabia Grand Prix were both canceled because of the situation going on out there in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Obviously, safety is paramount. Safety is the primary goal of F1. So unfortunately, because it's not safe to be there for fans or racing or racers or the teams themselves, they're skipping it. I know they looked into possibly rescheduling or finding other venues, other racetracks to go race at. I know Portimao was thrown out there. Imola was thrown out there since we don't race there anymore.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're just going to end up going without those two races.
Yeah, and I know that Formula 2 is looking into doing race week at Miami. So that could be something to look out for.
Yeah, I know F1 Academy was supposed to race, I think, Saudi Arabia, and they're not racing there either. So it's not just F1 affected, it's all of the Formula Series that are falling behind them that are supposed to be there. Unfortunately, they just don't get to race there. Some of the other series, I think like Porsche or GT, some that was supposed to race there, they actually pivoted to other venues.
Yeah, like WEC.
Unfortunately, Formula One couldn't. So, like Mark said, bittersweet feeling going to Japan.
Yeah.
Suzuka is actually one of my favorite tracks to watch.
Yeah.
My favorite driver has a great history there. I think he's won the last 4 Japanese Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna with the state of the Red Bull. I don't think that's gonna continue. And with his luck lately, which we'll talk about here in a minute, I don't think he's gonna unfortunately get that 5th win in a row in Japan.
Yeah. Crazier
shit's happened though in F1, so you never know.
Yeah.
I guess top of the headlines though is team principal drama.
Yeah.
2 races in, and we got team principal drama in Formula One already.
Adrian Newey is done.
He
doesn't want to do this anymore.
Aston Martin is just. I expected so much more from them this weekend. This season. We talked about it. We almost thought they were going to be a contender with the top 4 this year. They had Adrian Newey building the aerodynamics of the car that his track record precedes him. We thought he was going to be great. He had Honda engines.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they did not go together. They did not mesh well. The car is a death trap. It is literally
a literal death trap, like
killing the nerve ends on the driver's hands when they're going. It just there's all kinds of issues. While they're working on that, though, now they have team principal issues. Apparently, Adrian Newey was always temporary, always an interim basis. He was never going to be at the Chinese Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Even though we've seen footage of him saying, yes, I'll be at all the first few races. Drama. If there's anything that F1 loves more.
Drama.
It's drama. Adrian Newey's going to be out.
Yeah.
He's still holding the role for now, but they are looking at other people the rumor is, because they're not the only ones at team principal, it's Audi.
Yeah.
Our guy from previously Red Bull was running Kick Sauber, was making Audi look great, and now he's out. And the mad scientist, Minata Binotto, I think if I pronounced that correctly, is in as team principal at Audi.
It is certainly a choice.
Right?
Because if it's lining up to what we think and he's going to Aston Martin, it is certainly a choice. Because Audi has looked good so far this year.
Yeah.
Very good. Like, surpassed my expectations already.
Same.
From going from Kick Sauber and moving into this transition, and you leave, and again, it's not confirmed that he's going to Aston Martin.
Yeah, but there's usually when there's rumors along the paddock, there's quite a bit of truth.
It's like there's a clear window that we're seeing right through right now. Like we know, but why?
I guess what I saw and what the biggest factor from what they were talking about is him and Binotto weren't exactly meshing well. They didn't have a great relationship. They weren't getting along. How bad did it have to be from you to go from a hopeful midfield fighting team to bottom of the barrel, last place, death trap Aston Martin?
I really don't.
If he does go there, we don't know for sure. I mean, I guess at one point here over the last couple of weeks, Christian Horner even talked to Lawrence Stroll about possibly taking over that role.
Christian Horner is talking to anybody that can listen to him in the paddock.
As Ivan called him, the chupacabra. He's trying to find his way back into the sport. And eventually, I think he is. He's trying to buy stakes at Alpine. He's trying to get a team principal role with probably some kind of stakes at Aston Martin. He wants to be a partial owner of a team, and he wants to control it, be the team principal. I don't know when that's going to happen. I feel like it's inevitable, unfortunately. Yeah. I think he's going to be back.
He's going to be back.
But I know the word on the street was he talked to Lawrence. Lawrence said, we'll see. And Adrian Newey was like, no, I left Red Bull for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with him again. We're good.
Like, I thought I escaped this man, and now he is coming back.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where Horner lands when he finally gets back into the sport. And I say that because if Flavio can get back into the sport, Christian Horner's probably going to be back.
Yeah. I mean, now I'm looking 5 hours ago that he shut down Horner's chances.
Did he?
Yeah.
So.
And Helmut Marko has spoken to Adrian Newey. I've been in contact with him. He's not doing well. There are problems with this project that won't be solved quickly. So,
yeah, it looks like if Wheatley comes in at Aston Martin, it's putting, and this is why, I mean, regardless who comes in at Aston Martin, it's probably going to be Wheatley from everything we've heard. Adrian Newey's sole focus is technical production, getting that car fixed. But something somewhere has gone majorly wrong.
It is wild because I thought that would be his always main, like him being team principal, just never like in my mind it was odd, and I was like, I don't see that. I was like, I don't see that going well at all with him trying to manage the car, then being team principal. There was like when Bill O'Brien came in for the Texans, he tried to do the Bill Belichick, and I'm like, we're not. This is not going to work.
Tried to be GM, and all that. Yeah, It was an interesting choice at the time. I didn't know how to perceive it. Adrian Newey with his track record nothing screamed team principal to me for him. And I guess our intuitions were right, we could say. I mean, never wrong, just early.
I mean, I always liked Adrian Newey.
Yeah, nothing against
Aston Martin, but it's like
nothing against him at all.
You're not a team principal. Like,
I think it was safe to say that it was an interesting choice. It didn't work out. Yeah. Now we see who takes over, and hopefully, I think if there's any team that's happier about this 5-week break that we have coming up, it's Aston Martin because they have nothing but time to go to Japan.
They're the most happiest, but I think every single team isn't Mercedes and slightly Ferrari, that are very happy.
Yeah, considering we're in these new regs, they'll have 3 race weekends plus a sprint worth of data. They can see where they went wrong, see where maybe they can make improvements, and hopefully get a little more competitive. Chasing Mercedes at the front. Who knows? We'll come back after that 5-week break into Miami and see if anybody made any progress.
Yeah.
But I think Aston Martin is probably the happiest about the break. just to see. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that breaking graphic from F1 to drop and say that Jonathan Wheatley's in at Martin, but we'll see. We'll see how long. It's inevitable. I would assume at this point it's probably not going to happen until midway through the break that we're going to have now. Like I said, not only on the technical side, but it gives Aston Martin a chance to figure out who they want running their team. Yeah, and go from there. Other news that kind of came out this past week, our off week. It was an off week for Formula One fans. It was not an off week for Max fans and Max haters. Yeah. The haters were the happiest, I think, overall this weekend.
I love seeing that.
Like we said last week, man, any chance that the fans that do not like him have a chance to take shots. Yeah. Now, this season has been off to a great start for them. He's not winning races. He's not fighting at the front in the F1 grid. He goes to GT3 and puts on a remarkable weekend. And it was all for nothing. Yeah. I say all for nothing. I'm sure he had fun. We got to see some really good racing.
Some would say pure racing.
Pure, real racing, as some would say.
Real racing.
It was some really good racing. I woke up, for those who don't know, Max was racing his Team Verstappen, AMG, Mercedes, Red Bull sponsored GT3 car out at the Nürburgring. It was the NLS2. In preparation, he's going to be racing the 24 hours at Nürburgring. So this was one of the races that he was able to use to prepare for that 24 hours. He looked great. Yeah. The car looked great. The drivers looked great. Him and his team. It was Danny. I don't want to mispronounce it, but I think it's Yukindela, and then Jules. Starts with a G. Goonen. Jules and Danny were his other two drivers. They both raced their asses off. I woke up halfway through the race. I was supposed to wake up before the whole race. Yeah. Had a late night. Didn't get to watch the whole thing. Woke up literally at the 2 hour mark. I put it on right at the 2 hour mark. So I caught the back end of the second stint, the third stint, and then Max wrapped up the fourth stint, closed out the race. He was still making crazy moves. Unfortunately, I missed the fight at the beginning that he had with, is it Hase? I think he's a veteran GT driver. He's won 24 hours of Spa. He's won 24 hours of Nürburgring a couple of times. Veteran GT3 driver. Had a great fight at the beginning of the race with Max. I think that's what most fans who watched it wanted to see, is Max fighting with some of these GT3 drivers. He did it. He had put it on pole after only one push lap. So that was great. That was the first news I saw when I woke up, was he was on pole. I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw that he had temporarily lost the lead at the beginning, but then fought back, had a really good fight for like a lap or two, took the lead. And I don't think the team ever really lost it after that. I think, with pit stops, things shuffled, but they aren't no 2-second pit stops like they have in F1. I think they said the average pit stop is like 8 minutes maybe, or like 3 minutes, 3 minutes maybe.
That's insane.
Something like that. They refuel, they change the tires, the drivers swap, they take their time, get the car ready, and then they go back out there for another 45 minutes to an hour, It was a great race, man. As somebody who grew up, like I'm not a huge GT3 fan, like where I watch every race. Those races are hard to watch sometimes with the time difference being in Texas. But I mean, I've always been a fan of GT just from playing like Gran Turismo. I watched the movie, learning, Jan Mardenborough's stories. Yeah. Last year we saw Max race and he was on the podium with Jan Mardenborough. So that was like a kind of like cool part, after watching the movie and learning his story and then seeing him on the podium with Max. And it's a different motorsport series that I'm definitely willing to dive into and learn more of, especially if Max is going to be racing there. Obviously it makes it easier for me to jump over as a Verstappen fan, but it was just good racing. It was fun to watch. Some of these moves that these guys are making were just insane. I won't take it as like some people as a shot to shit on F1 because it's not what I'm going to do. We discussed all those, the thoughts about last week about the new regs and whatnot, but it was fun to see. And then they win, celebrate, and like an hour later, 2 hours later, just kidding. Team Verstappen was disqualified. They overwent their tire allocation. I guess qualifying and the race themselves, you're only allowed to use 6 sets of tires.
Yeah.
And they used 7. Somebody couldn't count to 2 or 3 during qualifying, grabbed the wrong set of tires or whatever.
Yeah.
Ended up part of the race. I mean, we've seen disqualifications happen in F1, and unfortunately, my winning team was on the wrong end of that this year. Max may never win again with his luck lately. Not a shot at his skill, but a shot at the luck that he's had in 2026.
Yeah.
It's not a great. It was fun. You can't take away from what the team did in the car. Whoever was in charge of tire allocations, want to have a word with you. But other than that, I mean, it was just good race. It was good races. It was fun to watch other racing outside of F1 and seeing Max Verstappen do the things he does on a different track.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it because I completely forgot. So, but from the clips I did see, it did look very entertaining. Max did his thing because Max is Max. But yeah, that plot twist was certainly a twist, man. And Twitter took with it and ran.
I think one of the biggest things, the biggest problems I had with, I mean, as toxic as F1 Twitter is, the biggest problem I had was how disrespectful a lot of people were being towards like GT3 drivers themselves. Like, they were like, "Oh yeah, of course Max won. He's racing plumbers and electricians." Yeah, and it's like the fight he had at the beginning of the race was what, seasoned GT3 veteran, like a 24-hour race winner. Like, people just like I said, every chance they get, people are gonna take shots. When you win, people hate you. Yeah, it is what it is.
It's like Formula One isn't the only motorsport in the world, guys.
Yeah,
we gotta acknowledge.
Even though this isn't a Formula One podcast, it's fun to step outside of it a little bit and see some other motorsports and other racing. I know Ivan is probably the biggest one. He watches a lot of WEC, a lot of IMSA. So pivoting back, great weekend overall, but terrible results, I guess. Great drives, great weekend, terrible results after the disqualification. Yeah, but hopefully, Max during the 5-week break will get to go race the NLS 3, and then get ready for the 24-hour, and I think it's in May. It's a 24-hour. So pivoting back to Japan.
Back to Formula One.
Yeah, pivoting back to Japan.
We are a Formula One podcast.
Some right off the bat, we got special liveries. We always have special liveries in Japan. Last year, Red Bull had the White Bull.
Yes,
the perfect car.
Our award for like best livery.
Yeah, that was the best livery of the year. I think, not to be biased, but it was best. It was just a great looking car.
Yes, it was.
V-Carb has the Cherry Edition.
Yes. Who doesn't like Cherry?
White. That's honestly been my favorite Red Bull this season, the Spring Edition Cherry. Love that. Mercedes has the Wolf Edition this year. It looks like it's just a sticker on the front wing. Yeah. But it's got a cool design on it, a cool wolf. And then Haas, the Godzilla collab. That so one, good. I don't know which one is better, the Haas Godzilla or the Cherry Edition V-Carb.
It's tough, but I'm going with not Haas.
V-Carb.
V-Carb.
I think I got to lean that way a little bit myself, but the Godzilla is fucking cool. Just the way they have the Godzilla breathing down and then it goes into the design.
Yeah.
And
they're both so good, but I have to go Visa Cash Out. It's sexy. It is sexy.
I think I saw Alex has a special helmet. I'm sure there will be a few more that drop before the race weekend actually kicks off. It'll be tomorrow is media day, or is it Thursday? It's hard with the time difference. But media day is coming up, and then we'll go from there. Some other news: Jack Crawford, the local kid, will be driving. He is the third driver for Aston Martin, so he's going to be driving an FP1 to fill one of their allocations. Every team has to let a developmental driver drive, 4 times throughout the season? 4 sessions?
Somewhere around
3 or 4 sessions throughout the season. Aston Martin's using one of their allocations this year to put Jack Crawford in the death trap, or their car, sorry. And hopefully he can get some good laps in, man. I know it's probably going to be tough considering what Fernando Alonso has said about that car, and even Lance Stroll. Hopefully he can get some good time in. He can get some good.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he has to drive that car, but I'm very happy that he's gonna be having that time. The fact that he's the third driver is insanely cool. I've been trying to follow his F2 career for a while now. I watched when they raced in Silverstone when he won there. On 4th of July weekend,
that was
American
cool.
on top of the podium.
Cool. He's sitting second in the F2 championship right now. So, hey, we're rooting for you. Hey, let's go. Jack Crawford, H-Town kid, you know, he raced here in the greater Houston area. He's from here. To see him, I mean, it's funny because like as much as we know the fan base of Formula One has started to grow here in Houston, and there's been you know, there's different clubs and teams and fan groups. And we had the Red Bull show run come here like 2 years ago. Yeah. I got to go to that. And then like a week or two right before or after is when Jack Crawford was driving the Aston Martin F1 like down like 610 or something.
Yeah, that
like,
was crazy.
That was insane. So like just driving down one of the Houston freeways in an F1 car just randomly.
Yeah.
That was cool though. But it's cool to see as F1 fans being away from, I guess, the majority of the fan base of the sport, and like it's good. It's good to see a piece from home in there, you know, kind of embedded
like
in the sport
from home. Like like it's
so
crazy when I think of it. I'm like, that's just insane.
Like who would have thought? You know, like a kid from Houston could be racing F1 right now. You know what I mean? Or like along, you know, headed that way at least.
Yeah.
So maybe we see him as a permanent driver on the grid one day. Hopefully,
I hope so, man. He's been doing really good in this F2
There's going to be some seats that open up. I mean, over the next couple years. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to see him. I would be a full blown fan of his when he gets up there for whatever team he's in.
We will be the Jack Crawford podcast.
Yeah. Obviously, we'll still have our favorites: Max, Lewis, Pierre, whoever. But together, we will be rooting for Jack Crawford no matter what. Any thoughts about Japanese Grand Prix before we get into our predictions?
I mean, like you said earlier, I love to watch it. The vibes around it is amazing. In terms of the simulator, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, not a big fan of it in the game, but everything that leads into the F1, it's one of those tracks where there's just so much going on around it pre-race day, like during the weekend. You know, you got the cherry blossoms, the photographs that come out of this weekend, the shots, just the art behind it, I guess, is just beautiful to see.
Yeah.
It like I said, it's one of my favorite tracks, one of my favorite weekends on the calendar to watch and enjoy.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would love to go back to Japan and watch a race there. So maybe one day I can. But for now, I'll keep enjoying it on the TV.
Yeah. I'm really excited. You know, I'm going to try to enjoy every moment, especially during our live stream. Going to try to enjoy every second because, you know, 5 weeks off after this. But
yeah, it's going to be sad.
Yeah, pretty sad.
So last year, Max won. Obviously, it was one of his best wins of the year last year. I mean, he took pole with no purple sectors.
Yeah.
The car looked great. His helmet, he had a special helmet. The helmet looked great. The race suits matched the car. I mean, everything about that weekend as a Red Bull and Max fan was just 10 out of 10. Absolute cinema, as some would say. He won the Papaya boys, followed close behind. Lando was in second. Oscar was in third.
Yeah.
Those were the three championship fighters throughout the season.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't look like this year we're probably going to get the same result. I would say...
No.
I think it's a safe bet to say that those three are probably going to be somewhere between like P5 through.
Well, for the
like
McLarens, they need to finish their race.
Yeah, they got it. Will Oscar even get to start a race? That's the question of the week. Will Oscar?
If somehow Oscar doesn't start this race, he has to wait till Miami.
Can you believe that? Okay, if he doesn't start this race, hypothetically, his F1 season won't start. Granted, he starts in Miami until May.
Bro. Oscar Piastri fans, we are with you. We're sending our prayers. We are
just start the race, Oscar. Start it, and I just want to see Oscar finish the race too at this point, because how shitty would it be if he starts it and then has a problem and he doesn't even get to finish the race?
One lap.
Just I don't know, man. Like I as a Max fan, I'm in shambles. I can only imagine Oscar fans. They haven't even got to see him race.
That after the last year, what happened in terms of just, you know, papaya rules and everything, and, you know, what they believe, you know, if they believe Lando was the favorite and, you know, he got screwed over. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry. I feel bad. And that's coming from a Ferrari fan, man. That's really bad.
It's I can only imagine. Like, I was a fan of Oscar last year in the sense where if I had to watch a Papaya win, I wanted it to be Oscar. It wasn't. It was Lando. Whatever, that's last year's news. But this year, I'm just focused on how bad the Red Bull is and how much Max is struggling in this car because it's a turd. It looks great, but it's a turd. I will say, though, I did see that apparently Mekki said they're bringing some of their first upgrades, and Mekki said they did find something that they were able to fix that's supposed to make them competitive again. I don't know what that means considering how far ahead Mercedes is. So when you say Red Bull's going to be competitive again, well, they need to finish the race because in week 1, Hadjar didn't finish. In week 2, Max didn't get to finish. They've both been driving their ass off and trying to get the most out of this car. And they keep sitting like, what, P6, P8, somewhere between there. I don't know, man. Hopefully, I won't hold my breath, but hopefully what Mekki says is right. And they're maybe at least fighting the Ferraris for a podium.
Yeah, maybe.
But we'll see. I'm not, like I said, not holding my breath. I'm not going to get my hopes up.
Yeah. I mean, that's like kind of the same with me. I'm not getting my hopes up for Ferrari in terms of like, winning. Or even being a double podium, but I'm gonna have that faith, man. We're that close. Of course, not here in Japan. We have that 5-week break off, so maybe they can figure out something there. But
yeah. I think as a Max / Red Bull fan, I'm happy about the break only in the sense that maybe they can fix it and get something. Yeah. If we're not gonna fight for wins because Mercedes is far ahead, can we at least get some podiums? Like, give me a couple Hadjar and Max podiums, please.
Yeah, especially Hadjar, man.
Yeah, I need it. So I guess we'll go straight into our predictions for. I'm looking up Ivan's because Ivan, even though to keep our game going, even though he's not here, he did text us and send us his predictions. So we'll get into that. Our predictions for the Japanese Grand Prix. I think it's safe to say it's not going to be anywhere near what we saw last year. Like I said, those guys will probably be bottom of the points. We'll see. Remember, McLaren didn't look bad before their issues, though. So they could be fighting for a podium with Ferrari. Who knows? But yeah, our Japanese Grand Prix predictions. We'll start with Ivan's since he's not here. It's easy for me to just throw his out there. Pole position, he has George Russell. Layup. I'm going to go.
Really think about it.
It's, okay, I'll stick with it. I'm going to go Kimi. I think Kimi feet continues from what he got last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, last race. I think he still continues to be strong. It kind of, if anything, it boosted his confidence, kind of proved to him that he could do it.
Yeah.
Who do you got for pole?
Yeah, I fully believe that. I think this win could boost Kimi's confidence a lot. But, considering I keep saying past weekend with you. Considering this last race weekend, George had that problem going into Q3. He was barely able to get that lap in and get P2.
Yeah.
I really think George is until Kimi or the Ferraris can prove me wrong, I think it's going to be George for the rest of the season with the way the Mercedes looks. Because George has the experience. George has been at the Williams, went to Mercedes, followed in Lewis's footsteps when Lewis was still there. So, I'm going with the George pole.
George pole, okay. So we'll go into the podium. Ivan has Lewis P3. He has Charles P2. And he has George winning the race in P1.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Very interesting.
Because based on what we've seen, it's going to be a 1-2 for Mercedes.
Yeah.
So he either thinks, because he didn't really go into detail, he either thinks Kimi's going to have an issue or the Ferraris are just going to be that good to fight and pass him up. I don't see it happening. That's me. Personally, I have George winning the race, Kimi P2, and then Charles P3. I think it's going to be the Ferraris. They're the only ones that are their great starts are what putting them third and fourth. The great starts, like I said, don't really mean much. It only lasts a couple laps before the Ferraris pass them.
Yeah.
So I think George wins it. Kimi gets P2. Kimi takes pole, but he loses it out to his teammate, and then Charles wraps with the podium. I do think at this stage of their careers, Charles is the better driver. I think Lewis got the best of him last week, and Charles probably won't let that happen again this week. Or not last week, last race. I don't think Charles lets it happen again this week.
Yeah.
They're going to be fighting each other, and that's all they really got. So maybe the McLarens, if the McLarens can start and finish the race. So.
There's always, I loved it. You know, especially the way the guys were talking about it, racing each other during that race. The fact that they weren't like trying to kill each other, but they were just like, oh man, that was pretty fun.
That was fun, yeah.
It was fun.
They had a lot of fun.
So,
out there.
I mean, I even though I almost had a heart attack watching it, you know, it was great.
I'm not even a Ferrari fan, and I was on the edge of my seat because I was like, they're gonna ruin the race and just gift George the podium.
But yeah, so. For my predictions, I got something kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go George winning. For second, I'm going to go with Charles. And then third, we're going to go Kimi. I'm hoping, copium, that somehow Charles is going to we're going to get our good start. But I'm hoping somewhere along the race, you know, the pace is there. You know, strategy actually comes into favor for us this time. And we don't shit it away like we always do.
Under a safety car if you need to. Don't just stay out for no reason. Split the strategy if you have to, Ferrari. Figure it out.
Yeah.
How many years have we seen strategy problems from Ferrari? Jesus Christ.
Too long. So, yeah, I'm going with that.
So, you said you had George winning?
Yeah.
George winning.
Yeah.
Kimi P3.
Yeah.
And you had Charles P2. Okay. So, me and you both have George and Kimi on the podium. Yeah. I hope I'm right because I just don't see anything but a Mercedes 1-2 until somebody else can prove me wrong. Only 3 races in. I know it's hard to say, but this early, I think it's safe. Like, somebody's got to come up and show that they have some major upgrades or some major improvements to fight for those wins or those P2s on the podium.
Yeah, like we've been saying, especially for me, I fully believe it, that George and Mercedes are going to dominate. And until somebody proves me wrong, then I'm not going to predict anybody else on the podium.
Yeah. Like I said, other than Ferrari wrapping it up at the bottom, I mean, they're just going to alternate. Charles and Lewis just going to alternate podiums if they don't kill each other. Yeah, if that doesn't happen. So yeah, we'll have our live stream kickoff probably about 11:45ish, just Houston time. This is all Central time.
Yes.
Here in Houston, Texas. We'll have our live stream probably kick off like 15-20 minutes before the race starts. We'll live stream our watch along of the Japanese Grand Prix. So stay tuned for the info to come out on that. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment, tell us your predictions, tell us what you think about the Japanese Grand Prix,
every year.
Aston Martin, the team principal drama, what you think about the 5-week break we unfortunately have to see. So yeah, subscribe, like, and comment. Follow us on all our socials. We're at Around the CCT on Twitter or X, whatever you call it. Around the Circuit on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And then, of course, you'll find us, my personal, at Maruchan Warrior and at MPCH Town. Ivan is at IO White 1. Follow us. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to the YouTube. And we'll be back next week to recap Japan before we go on our little break.
5 weeks.
Luckily, if we time it right, we'll only have like 3 off ourselves from the pod, but we'll fill in. Maybe we'll do some, like we said, some simulated races for those 2 weekends.
Yeah,
and we'll go from there. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Be back next week. We'll recap whatever happens in Japan, and we'll see y'all then. We're out.